guys. So what I was saying earlier was that I wanted to show you guys how the Inner Circle coaching group will really change the way that you play. So if you've never heard of the Piano Players Inner Circle, it is a coaching group that I am over, and what we do is we have live lessons every week. And the reason that that helps you is because if you are feeling stuck or frustrated in your playing, it will push you out of that because you actually have somebody who is there to help you. So what I want to know from you guys who are just joining is, do you play? And if you are happy with the way that you play. So I will go first. Yes, I play. We have 3 services a week at our church, and many weeks I play all 3 services. And I do get frustrated when I feel like I'm not learning or I'm not growing or I'm just playing the same things over and over and all the songs sound the same and I'm playing the same chord but in a different song. And it just gets overwhelming after a while, right? And kind of frustrating. So that is why the Inner Circle is such a benefit. Okay? So what happens in the Inner Circle is that we have a live class every week. You're able to ask questions. Even if you're not able to attend the class live, you can get your questions answered. And you have access to the whole library of all the lessons that we've ever done. So that's amazing. Okay? So say, for example, that you wanted to work on 13th chords. That was where you wanted to grow. There's no pressure to feel like you have to be on the same lesson as everybody else. We do lessons weekly for whoever needs them. But if you're wanting to just work on 13th chords, then you could scroll through and find the lesson on 13th chords. And then you could play a song like, let's see, what's that song? I'm going through, I'm going through. I don't care what the rest of the world says to do. I made up my mind, and never gonna turn around now. Walking with my Jesus and I'm going through. Which is a fun song made completely of 13th chords. Or say you wanted to work on learning to play by number. You could scroll to the lesson that says play by number, and it would show you that if you were doing the song, we are standing on holy ground, and I know that there are angels all around. Let us praise Jesus now. We are standing in His presence on holy ground. Okay? Then say somebody, I don't know if they do that do this at your church, but say somebody just gets up and starts singing and you have to play that song in a different key. This is where numbers are going to help you. So let's see if you're going to do, we are standing, we're in A, on holy ground. Well, if you play by number, you know the song goes like this. Ready? We are 1, 2 minor 7, 1 over 3, 4, 1. You can go to the 5 if you want to. 1, 5, 1, 6, suspended, 2, 5, walk it up, 1, 2, 3, like about having a coaching group is that you don't have to search all over the internet for help. Because sometimes that can be a lot, right? Hey, Vanessa. So if you wanted help with, okay, just for example, we have a class at 6 p.m. tonight. And one of the students was asking about the song that I played for yesterday's live, thanks. They wanted to break it down and show them the exact chords and stuff. So I'm going to do that in our class at 6 p.m. So if you wanted to learn to play the song Thanks, you just type it in the group. And then the next lesson, you learn the song Thanks. Thanks, thanks, I give you thanks for all you've done. Okay? Because say you found it on the internet, but it was in B, and you wanted to play the song in F, and you really weren't super comfortable with numbers yet, and you wanted somebody to just teach the song to you in F, right? Sometimes you just want to answer. That is the great thing about the inner circle. So you have somebody who can work directly with you. This is why I have coaches for voice and for piano, because I don't want somebody else's tips and tricks. I want the tips and tricks that work for me for the struggles that I have, because the areas that I need to grow in may not be the areas that somebody else needs to grow in, right? So say you submitted a song and you were playing, this is how I fight my battles, 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 and you played the same thing for 3 minutes, which sounds good. I would get on and recommend, okay, let's add some movement to your playing. Let's make it sound like this. This is how I fight my battle. This is how I fight my battle. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. This is how I fight my battles. Right? Okay? So the other thing that you want when you are wanting to get better at the piano is you want to be able to ask someone specific questions that pertain to you. So for example, say you were trying to work with your band on learning to read chord charts, or maybe you were trying to teach them a song and there was a really weird tempo and you needed to explain that to somebody and get their help. So what I would do is I would say, okay, so let's just use this as an example because we're going to do this song in a couple weeks. We're doing Glorious by Martha Munizzi. So that song is very rhythm driven and you have to get it right. You can't really fake your way through that song. So first thing I would do would be to tell you to give your entire team access to that drum loop so they can practice with it. Because you don't want them to get to sound check, which we don't call pre-service rehearsals practice anymore because the team should already know their stuff, right? We call it sound check. And they should already know and be able to practice the song before they come, right? So when you get to sound check, they're already familiar with practicing with the loop, and so it's not throwing them off, because sometimes syncopated loops like that can be a little funky to play with. They can kind of throw you off a little bit if you're not used to them. Okay, so let's talk about motivation. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. In the room. Okay. I'm going to ask you a question, and you don't have to answer this on Instagram or Facebook if you do not want to, but you can if you are a brave soul and you're serious about wanting to get better. Has what you have been doing to get better on the piano, is it working? Like, do you see real strides in your playing, or do you feel like you're kind of doing the same thing over and over just to get by? and you kind of play the E chord the same way in every song because that's the way you know how to play the E chord. But it can be a little awkward because sometimes jumping to a different chord in a different song is hard because you're playing different inversions, or you find that songs maybe don't flow like you would want them to. So if you're going to do a song like, well, we'll just do When You Say Jesus because we did it last night. When you say Jesus, you said it all. When you speak his name, his power, you'll call. Just at the mention, things begin to change. When you call on Jesus' name. Okay? So that song is going to be played very open, right? Especially in the beginning because you want to have somewhere to go. Cheryl says she's guilty. I have been guilty too. So what I need to do if I'm going to play that song for a service is I need to work out how the song is going to flow, how I'm going to play it, and also be able to practice different techniques, right? Because if I played it this way, when you say Jesus, you said it all, it's going to have a different sound and a different feel, right? Doesn't mean it's bad. It just means once you reach a certain pinnacle in your playing, then you need to grow, right? You need to push yourself out of that comfort zone. So if you started here, then maybe bring it up. Okay? So I would just ask you, is what you're doing working? Is practicing with the chord chart the night before working for you? If it is, great. Is trying to get on YouTube and find videos of the song that are like either overcomplicated or maybe they don't break them down really well, or they're in the original key and you don't do it in the original key. Is that helping you? Or do you need someone to break it down for you? Do you need someone you can actually reach via the internet? Because obviously there's a whole group of us that's in the group. Or do you need someone that you can reach, you can access to ask questions? So whatever works for you, that's what I'm going to encourage you to do. And if you think that the Inner Circle coaching is going to work for you, I would encourage you to go ahead and sign up because it closes tonight at midnight. If you're on Facebook or on Instagram, you can click the link in my bio and sign up that way. On Facebook, I will post the link in the comments as soon as I get off of here. And if you guys have any questions about the Inner Circle coaching, I am online answering those tonight. So post those or send me DMs and I will answer your questions. But I'm excited for those of you who have already signed up for the coaching group. I think you're going to see a big improvement in your playing, and I cannot wait for you to see how good you do in the Inner Circle. Thank you guys for sharing this video with people who play, people that you think want to get better in their playing. We're a team, so I give you guys the information and you help me spread the word because you know way more people than I do who play and maybe even feel stuck in their playing. So there's no shame in feeling stuck. We all get there at some point. That's why I'm here, to help push you out of it. So go to pianoplayersinnercircle.com, sign up tonight. If nobody's told you today, you have what it takes to be a good piano player. Stop believing the lies that you can't do it. Stop believing the lies that it's going to be too difficult for you, that you're just going to play the same way that you always have, because it's not true. You can get better, and I'm here to help you do that. All right, you guys, have a good night. I'll see you later. Bye, everybody.